Hello, how are you doing, my friends? I hope you're doing great. I know we are now starting to receive the 2NL for the DV Lottery 2025, and we are coming to a close for the DV Lottery 2024, and to be specific, by the end of September. And for those that have been scheduled for the interview for this month and for next month, what we have is to issue all the best. But I have this issue to discuss with you because I have seen questions still coming in on the comment sections regarding this issue, and that is about the Form I-134. And the concern is, what is it all about, and is it a must that you have it? And why is it asked for? Yet this is DV Lottery, it's not a sponsored visa. Now, I know this question comes especially from the newcomers, the new ones in this channel. But let me discuss this into details. And I have a full video, not one, but two, that takes you through the entire process of filling the Form I-134. And I will re-upload it soon so that you can see and you can know how to clearly fill it as you prepare for your interview. But first of all, what is it? The Form I-134 is one of the ways of assuring the consulate or the embassy that you are able to sustain yourself once you land in the United States. Now, it is not a must, but it has come to be a must for majority of the embassies. Especially, I've seen majority of embassies from Africa, from Asia, some from Europe, and some from Oceania, and some from the Latin America requesting for this. And that's why you'll hear me time and again telling you guys that it is important to prepare this document in advance if you're not sure whether your embassy requests for it or not. So it's good to have it ready, because it is not a good idea to risk your chances at the interview. You get to be placed on the 221G visa refusal until you provide that document. So it's better that you prepare yourself well for you to have this interview successful. If you're requested for it, then you have it. If you're not requested, there is no harm for you having it. Now, the other way of proving that you cannot become a public charge, and by public charge it means you will not end up in the streets, or you will not end up depending on the government for support, that you are able to sustain yourself as you start life in the United States, is through providing the bank statement showing that you have sufficient savings to take you through as you start life in the United States. So you can provide the Form I-134 or a bank statement showing your savings. And for the bank statement, it is required that you at least have 10,000 US dollars per individual. If you're a family of 3, then $10,000 for each individual, summing up to a total of 30,000 US dollars. But if you can't do that, then we have the option of the Form I-134. And this form is provided by someone that we call a sponsor. And this sponsor must be a person already in the United States, either a citizen or a person on a permanent resident status. And this sponsor has to have sufficient resources to sustain you together with himself or herself with his family. So he must not be living under the poverty guidelines. No. he or she should have sufficient resources to sustain you in the United States. So he or she is the person to provide you with this form I-134, and it is found online. You can just download it online as the sponsor and then fill in the details and send it to the DV winner for him or her to fill the other details, and then you're good to go. And it is required in hard copy, so you can fill it on your computer and then print it out, or you can print the document out and fill it handwritten. Both cases they apply. But what you should note as the DV winner is that at the interview desk, you will be required to have it as a hard copy, a printed version of it. Now, the question that also is asked frequently is, who is supposed to fill this? And this comes because you know as a winner that you know yourself better than how your sponsor knows you. Now, you can get the details from the sponsor and fill the form yourself and then print it out. Alternatively, you can give the sponsor your full details for him or her to fill the details for you. What is required is that the form be fully and duly filled. Whoever fills the form should ensure that the form is duly filled. So you can decide to go either way. Get full information of your sponsor and then fill it together with yours, or provide the sponsor with your full information, your full details, and let the sponsor fill it for you. That is what we need. The other concern about this affidavit of support, especially on the side of the Form I-134, is which of the two documents is needed. That is, Form I-864 or the Form I-134. And I have explained it very well in a former video, but let me just capture it in a nutshell. The Form I-864 is for sponsored visas. Like, for example, you are in the United States and you want to bring in your kid or your married spouse. So you'll have to fill the Form I-864 as an affidavit of support for that person. And Form I-864 is highly legally binding. It binds the sponsor. On the other side, for the DV lottery, since the diversity visa is not a sponsored visa, you don't need Form I-864. What you need is Form I-134. And this one I've shown in the previous video is clearly indicated on the DV instructions for the DV Lottery 2020. If you go and search for DV instruction for the DV Lottery 2020, you'll find down there on the miscellaneous questions that they have mentioned the form that is needed for the DV winner as an affidavit of support is Form I-134. And this Form I-134 is not that much legally binding, though it is also an official document by the United States government, but it's not that much legally binding. So I'm going to repost the video about how to fill Form I-134 so that you might know how well you're supposed to do it, because it is needed. It's needed. Just prepare it. In case you're asked for it, you provide it. So immediately after this video, the following video will be on how to fill the Form I-134. Finally, the other concern is this Form I-134 used as a single document? And the answer is you are required to have some accompanying document to the I-134. And those accompanying documents include the tax transcripts, either 1040 or W2 tax transcripts, either of those two. And the other thing that you need is the copy of the identification card or identification document for the sponsor. And it can either be the driver's license, a copy of that, a copy of the naturalization document. It can be a copy of the national identity card. It can also be the green card copy. So you get the copy of whichever identification document your sponsor has. The third thing that you probably would need is the recent proof of payment. That is the pay stubs. The sponsor gives you 3 recent pay stubs or those documents for you to show the current payment that your sponsor had. And if you have any other concern about Form I-134, feel free to comment on the comment section, and also visit our website. It is always under the description of this video, and learn more about that. So let's meet in the next video, but wait for that video on how to fill Form I-134. Please subscribe and share with your friends. Let's meet again.